On July 10, 2018, one of the biggest transfers in the history of football took place. For the sum of 100 million euros, Juventus Football Club landed one of the biggest statement signings in the new century, and the landscape of football changed for good. Cristiano Ronaldo, considered by many experts and fans alike to be one of the greatest footballers in history, had left Real Madrid Club de Futbol, the Spanish football club where he had transformed from a young football superstar into a true legend of the sport. It was an event that not only sent massive shockwaves across the footballing world, but also caused great attention from media outlets and celebrities outside sports too. The biggest question, however, was why? Why had this leader, fan favorite, and amazing goal scorer of his team suddenly decide to leave the place that he had called home for 9 years? Why had he walked away from the Spanish La Liga, where the most impressive battle between two footballing gods, Cristiano himself and his rival Lionel Messi, had raged for almost a decade? When it comes to sporting excellence, Cristiano Ronaldo is a name that reflects true dedication and leadership, as well as the incredible ability to turn a game on its head, no matter how hard it's looking for the Portuguese and his teammates. Therefore, it cannot be said that Cristiano decided to step away from the club because he wasn't performing. Having played 438 matches for the Spanish Giants, he assisted 131 goals for his teammates and scored an almost superhuman 450 goals himself, meaning he scored more than 1 goal per game, eclipsing many of the best players to ever wear the Blancos' white kit, and only finding competition from Messi himself, another football star that has transformed our perception on what footballing talent really means. His performances for Real Madrid were also even more impressive in the UEFA Champions League, where he tore apart the record set by previous greats. He broke the records for most goals scored in a group and knockout stages, most assists made in the Champions League, most goals scored in a single Champions League campaign with 17 goals, and as if that wasn't enough, while playing for Madrid, he even managed to become Europe's all-time leading international goal scorer with 88 goals for the Portuguese national team. His departure certainly wasn't because of the lack of silverware either, which can often make players part ways with their favorite clubs. During his 9 incredible years at Real Madrid, CR7 was a key element in the club, winning 2 La Liga trophies, 2 Copas del Rey, 4 UEFA Champions Leagues, and 3 FIFA Club World Cups, among others. As an individual player, he managed to take home the Ballon d'Or a record 4 times, after having also won it once before in spectacular fashion at his previous club, Manchester United, and won 3 European Golden Shoes, which only served to remind everybody of just how good he was as a goal scorer when he wasn't busy leading his side to victory. So why did Cristiano leave Real Madrid? Maybe we have to ask the biggest question in modern football, now that football is becoming more of a business than a traditional sport. Could it be down to Ronaldo not receiving the wages he deserved, or not getting the love he wanted from the massive crowds that followed him to every match, even to those that were just pre-season friendlies? This, my friends, is where the chances of getting a real answer lie, considering everything that transpired in the last months before his departure from Real Madrid to Juventus. You see, even at the top, there can still be doubts and issues that cloud an athlete's mind, causing them to feel uncomfortable even when they could be feeling okay with what they have. Coming in at second in the list of highest-paid football players in 2018, after Messi, and third overall athlete after Floyd Mayweather and Messi, it was a year of economic excellence for the Portuguese superstar, when he deservedly took home $61 million in salary and winnings, and pocketed another $47 million in endorsements. It translated as $108 million total, and it was showing just how much of a financial powerhouse he could become once he retired and started investing his earnings. Not bad for a boy who rose from poverty in the island of Madeira in Portugal, especially considering he grew up having to fend for himself. Added to this was his immense fame. The day he left Real Madrid, CR7 was already followed by almost 140 million Instagram users, all of which have become faithful fans who like and comment every single one of his posts. But it just wasn't enough. Everything we've mentioned, everything you've seen about this man, this legend, it wasn't enough. He needed more. That's the very essence of Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro, for better or for worse. His hunger for achievements, for grabbing hold of something he hasn't had before, something newer, bigger, and better than the one he had previously. It is, for all sakes and purposes, what led Cristiano towards making the decision of leaving Real Madrid. You see, we have talked a lot already about wages, but the truth is that much of what Ronaldo made was thanks to his immense success and the number of trophies that Real Madrid was taking home. In a surprise, perhaps unexpected twist of the aforementioned 61 million euros that Cristiano was making in salary and winnings, only 21 million of those were actually his net wages. That is, the amount of money he would earn without factoring in the trophies and the bonuses and all of the other things that Real Madrid awarded him with. This wasn't so much, it has to be said. Looking around him, Cristiano could see that his longtime rival, FC Barcelona's Lionel Messi, had gotten a new contract worth 41 million euros. That's practically double what CR7 was earning, while he waited for Real Madrid's president, Florentino Perez, to renew his own. Matters only got worse when he heard that Neymar was now earning 35 million euros net per year too. It was as if, even though he was fighting at the highest level, consistently competing with Lionel Messi in the footballing aspect, he was barely just receiving half of what the Argentine earned, and less than the Brazilian player who was nowhere near either of their levels, footballing-wise. Feeling disappointed, CR7 voiced his dismay repeatedly, his agent Jorge Mendes also serving as a link between the Portuguese star and the Real Madrid president. But Florentino Perez was reluctant to continue raising Ronaldo's wages exponentially at this point. He couldn't find it in himself to give Ronaldo what he wanted, a salary around the level of his rival, Lionel Messi, or at least one that returned him to the second place in football wages. Still, he made a promise he couldn't keep, offering Ronaldo the chance to receive a similar wage in 2017 and failing to follow through and finally setting everything in motion. Furthermore, coach Zinedine Zidane, a close ally to Cristiano Ronaldo and one of the men that managed to continue unlocking his almost infinite potential, announced that he would be leaving after the end of the 2017-2018 season, causing Cristiano and many other players and fans to question if Real Madrid were strong enough to continue moving forward without him in this new, challenging time where FC Barcelona were closing in once more, and other European sides such as Manchester City, Liverpool, and Juventus were growing in stature and ability. This all rose to its peak when, in June of 2018, Ronaldo received a suspended 2-year prison sentence and a massive fine of 18.8 million euros for tax evasion, with Spanish tax authorities celebrating this immense victory over the Portuguese after discovering he had evaded paying 14.7 million euros in tax between 2011 and 2014. It wasn't just the amount of money that left him staggering to see a future at Real Madrid. No, it was the fact that he hadn't been supported by the Spanish giant while the long-winded and frustrating investigations and trial were taking place. His club did little to help him negotiate a better outcome besides posting a single message on their social media, and he remembered how Messi had been fully backed by FC Barcelona when he'd been in the exact same situation just 1 year earlier. And so it was that at the end of the 2017-18 season, as an emotional Zidane lifted the club's third UEFA Champions League trophy in a row and 13th total up into the air after thrashing Liverpool, confirming his departure from Real Madrid as his players celebrated all around him, that Cristiano Ronaldo himself also turned to a reporter and his cameraman and uttered the unforgettable words, "It's been wonderful to have played with Real Madrid. I'll talk about my future in the coming days." Even the reporter looked taken aback at the Portuguese superstar's words, and not long passed before he was asked again once he had changed into a suit before the actual celebrations and parade began. This time, it was clear. Cristiano all but confirmed that he was leaving with his final message, and it made social media overload with speculation and mixed reactions of horror and excitement. However, it wasn't until the news finally arrived a month later, stating that Juventus had finally reached an agreement with Real Madrid to purchase Cristiano Ronaldo for a fee around the range of 100 million euros, that both Madrid and CR7 fans realized that it was all going to materialize. Sure, Juve, along with Manchester United and Paris Saint-Germain, both of which decided to back off at the transfer fee, had been circling him for a while, but very few fans were taking the rumors seriously. After all, many transfer rumors are just that, rumors. The rest, as the saying goes, is history. Cristiano Ronaldo himself gave his own reasons several months after, October 2018 to be exact, now as a Juventus player. According to the Portuguese legend, for a long time at Real Madrid, he had begun to feel like he was no longer needed at the club. Again and again, Florentino Perez made it clear that he was no longer indispensable, between unfulfilled promises on his wages, being open to receive bids from other clubs for him, allowing Zidane to leave despite his protests. It all added up, and it pushed him out of the ranks of the Spanish giants, no matter how many fans begged him to stay. Looking at everything from Perez's point of view, he definitely got rid of a massive expense the club was making every year on Cristiano's wages and other expenses. Was it really worth it? Having replaced CR7 with Mariano 7, a Spaniard with little experience and lacking the flashiness, goals, and results that Ronaldo brought with him, as well as still suffering to find a replacement in Bale or Hazard, Perez may have made a big mistake in letting the Portuguese superstar leave the club. It's a big question now when we ask ourselves if Cristiano will ever reach the level he enjoyed at Real Madrid while in Italy, or Santos Aveiro as a Real Madrid legend for all eternity, no matter what he or Perez did to sabotage that.